going to spend 5 minutes talking to you about the story of Virgin Galactic, which is Richard Branson's space company. And basically, we want to open up space to the rest of us. Space, for a long time, has been the province of astronauts. And that was sort of solidified by this stuff in the 60s, the Apollo program, and all the great achievements of that. And we sort of got this notion that space was only for the elite, right? It's only for these triathletes, these people who can just do amazing superhuman feats, and it's not for the rest of us. And you know, the interesting thing is that we want to sort of just change that fundamentally. The total number of people who have been to space since the dawn of human history is this number right here, 528 people. I think that's an incredibly small number of people for such an exciting thing, right? And so what we want to do is we want to radically break that open and enable way more people to experience the wonder of space. And I think we're going to change the world as we do that. So, I'll just spend a second on the story of Galactic. So Richard had a vision that extended from vehicles like this to vehicles like this. This is the X Prize vehicle, Spaceship One, which won the X Prize in 2004, designed by this guy, which is a guy named Burt Rutan. And it flew to space, and it proved that private spaceships were actually possible. And this was a picture taken from that. It was a great day, but it was like 9 years ago, right? So what Richard decided to do was to essentially try to design a spaceship that would open up space for the masses. Would, you know, start off expensive, but we would bring that cost down over time, and we would open up the possibility, the dream of spaceflight to everyday people. And so we've designed a vehicle. We call it Spaceship 2, and there's a picture of it. And we're going to start operating next year, and we're going to start flying real people to space. I think we've got actually at least one customer in the audience. Where is that guy? Is he here? Yeah? Stand up. Yeah, this guy right here. Thank you for that. Fantastic. And there's some of the folks who are going to be flying. We've now got about 570 folks signed up. We're going to fly them within 2 years of the start of commercial operations. So we will equal the number of people who've actually flown to space in the last 50 years in about 18 months. And then from there, it's just going to ramp up dramatically. And we're going to change the way people think about space. State of New Mexico made a big bet on commercial space. They built us a purpose-built $209 million spaceport in southern New Mexico, right next to the White Sands Missile Range. There's a picture of it. It was designed by Sir Norman Foster. It looks like different things to different people. And so we'll come right in. This is, you know, if you were traveling with us, you come down, and you'll come down to New Mexico, and you'll spend 3.5 amazing days with your other crewmates. You'll have 5 other folks who will be flying with you, as well as 2 pilots. And it's just going to be an incredible experience where you learn not just about the technology of the vehicle, but you'll think about how you want this experience to transform your life. You know, this is going to be something akin to a wedding or a birth or something, a rebirth. When people go into space, it's going to be more than just, you know, space tourism. It's going to be a chance to reimagine your own personal future. And I think it's also going to be a major thing for the world as these flights start to happen. And we dedicated the facility last fall, and we had a bunch of sort of say, how are you going to dedicate a spaceport? And you say, well, I don't know. Let's have a dance troupe that dances on the sides of buildings. And apparently that exists. So we hired them, and that was fun. So anyway, there's a picture, and our spaceport building holds 2 spaceships. We don't want to just have one spaceship. We want to have a fleet of spaceships operating all over the world. We'll start in New Mexico, but we'll go all over the world. We've gotten about $400 million from Abu Dhabi, and so we'll operate from there, but we'll operate in many other places around the world. And eventually, our dream is to essentially create a network of spaceports where, you know, you can just go from one continent to another in about an hour or 2 hours, and we're designing a vehicle that can do that now and really radically transform transportation on Earth. You know, we've been stuck in this paradigm of Mach 0.8 jet travel for 50 years. And it's crazy, right? I mean, everything else, you know, cell phones, computers, everything has reduced in cost and size and improved orders of magnitude. But sort of physical transportation really hasn't changed. And so we think that we're developing the technologies that will really change that in a fundamental way. So that's Galactic. Now I just want to show you what happened on Monday, because nobody else has seen these pictures outside of our company. So on Monday, we did our first rocket-powered flight. And I think, you know, Roman and I were talking about, you know, what was the timing going to be? Was I going to have to miss this because maybe the flight would be a little late, and we, you know, maybe it would be this morning, so I'd have to miss the talk. That would be unfortunate. Anyway, it worked out great. I'm proud that I'm going to announce that we're going to organize all of our future major flight tests shortly before PTTOW conferences to make sure that they happen on time and successfully. So that'll be good. No, I'm not doing that. I just joke. Okay, so anyway, these pictures were taken from the high chase plane. So this is 52,000 feet high, moments before we release our spaceship and start the powered flight. And so nobody else has seen this except a couple of pilots inside the vehicle. And right after this, I'm going to show you a video, which is sort of nice, but these are pictures that no one else has seen. The way our vehicle works is we have a spaceship attached to a carrier aircraft. And so the carrier aircraft takes that spaceship up to 52,000 feet, releases it, and the rocket motor fires, and it goes up from there. So this is the moment where the vehicle dropped. You get 3 seconds of weightlessness. Rocket fires. And on this flight, and this is pretty amazing, right? So this guy's flying right next to this thing. Boom. Everything works fantastic. And they go up. Break the speed of sound. It's the first commercial vehicle to break the speed of sound, to be a supersonic vehicle since the Concorde, which I think is incredibly, in a way, exciting and incredibly depressing, too, that, like, why is our society not constructing new vehicles and doing these things? But it is. It's the first commercially designed vehicle for supersonic thing. And for the marketers out there, it's also good for the Virgin brand. So I want to show you a video. It's just going to be 3 minutes, and it's just going to give you a flavor of the day. And then I'll be done. Oh, there's Richard congratulating the pilot.
Eight and a half years ago when we embarked on this program, I would never have thought that it was going to take us 8.5 years to reach this milestone. And I think it just proves just how difficult rocket science really is. It is strange to think that only 500 people have been into space. And our dream is to ultimately enable many kids who are watching this program to be able to go into space. And I think we can make that dream become reality.
Today we achieved a huge milestone for the company, which was that we broke the speed of sound and we had our first powered flight, and the team is just incredibly jazzed. We are now off to the races in terms of powered flight. So this was the first powered flight. We'll have a few more this year as we extend the burn times and as we approach our first space flight, and then what comes after that is commercial service.
Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. Another milestone. Huh? Fantastic. Yeah.
And now we'll be ramping up the building of spaceships. We'll be ramping up the building of motherships. We'll be ramping up the building of rockets. It's going to be the start of a whole new era of space travel. It's going to be tremendously exciting. Everything's possible, I think, after today.
That's it. So I'll be taking reservations outside of the hallway during the break, but I appreciate the opportunity to be with you today, and thanks very much. Good luck with the rest of the day.